Hello and welcome, my friends. Welcome back to Frightmare Fridays. And how are we all this lovely evening? Tonight, I take you back once more through a lovely, charming tour of the House of the Dead. Hey, hey, it's Ray Langley at your service. It's good to see you all again. I missed you all so much. So, this was a quick attract mode movie that shows the end or most of the events of House of the Dead 1 and a scene from beyond the ending after Curian, uh, the man who invented many of these genetic mutants, died. This is House of the Dead 2's attract mode. We will not be worrying about that because we already played House of the Dead 2 last week. Oh, I'll get to show you guys the little... No? Okay. I could swear that the attract mode thing, or like the little mini game, worked both ways, but I guess it only works from 3 to 2. But yes. Anyway, how are you all tonight? It's been a long couple of days since I finished reading Carmilla to you, and I missed you all, my lovely Rainiacs and my wonderful Langsters. I'm looking forward to playing this one for you as well. I didn't get to play this one in the arcades as much as two. Actually, hold on one sec. Did I forget to? I did. Guess who forgot to tweet that she's live? 1 second. Okay, silly moment, but well, my announcements are out there, so I am hopefully now live to the rest of the world. Anyway, as I was saying, House of the Dead 3. I I don't have as much experience with this one in the arcades as I did with House of the Dead 2 because it was a lot less common to find this one around than House of the Dead 2 or 1 was. Strangely enough, I actually, over the course of my gaming history, found more House of the Dead 4 cabinets than House of the Dead 3. So, not sure what that's about. But, um, it's a little unfortunate because I really do like how unique the I do like how unique the guns are in this game. I mean, you have oh yes, 4 does have different guns. 1 and 2 had, for example, the uh, the standard handguns. Um, House of Dead 3 had shotguns. And yes, they were actually controlled via. They were actually like shotgun shaped controllers, complete with racking action. So you actually had to pump the shotgun in order to load it, which I felt was an insanely good mechanic. House of Dead 4 went back to the handgun mechanic and did Uzis instead. I'm gonna go ahead and start playing, by the way. I'll keep chatting while I play. But House of the Dead 3 probably had the most expense in terms of, just the guns they had to make because the larger chunks of plastic for the shotguns. I love how his reaction is just, damn. Like, damn it, Carl. You couldn't keep yourself from getting eaten. Thomas Rogan is the player 1 character here for this section and is also the player 1 character for the very first game. So it feels kind of like a full circle moment. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, House of the Dead 4 went back to the more handgun style mechanic with the Uzis, but as you can see, even in the reload animation, they really were pumping up this shotgun style peripheral, which, as far as I know, is still unique to this series. I don't think any other game has done a shotgun peripheral, and it's a shame. Oh, hello. Because I get that they're not the most practical gun in such a scenario, but a shotgun, they're just cool. They're not even my preferred type of firearm, by the way. Back in the day, I was more prone to using a scoped rifle myself. Damn it, Rogan! Isn't Dear Daniel Hello Kitty's boyfriend?
It's been 2 weeks since we lost contact with Toby. We can't wait any longer. You ready, Lisa?
I promised Mom that I'd bring him home. Let's go, G.
Look, there's G. Told you he survived. Let's blow open the front door. Anyway, so yeah, shotguns aren't even my preferred type of firearm. I usually use a rifle myself, just for... I'm gonna sound like such a freaking... There's just an elegance to it, okay? But I love the sheer power of a shotgun. Can't be denied. So as you saw from the character blurbs right there, G is Rogan's old colleague, and in House of the Dead 2, you only see him in a brief cutscene where... Ugh, really? Where he gets got, and you have to basically pick up the... Seriously? Pick up the enemy weak spot notebook from him. But he was the player 2... Oh, yeah, there's a new mechanic in this game. where if you save your partner from getting hit, you get your health bonus there. There are no civilians to save in this game, unlike in 1 and 2. They kind of did away with the civilian saving part, which I kind of disagree with, because it was fun to like tie those into how alternate scenes could play out and alternate routes. But yeah, G was the player 2 character of 1 and is the player 2 character here in 3. He also weirdly looks kind of like Yoshikage Kira after he gets Bites the Dust as an ability, so I don't know what that's about. Yes, even the giant zombie ones are bastards. Especially those. Dang it, I just missed the health power-up. Ugh! Hate when that happens. Ah.
Calm down there.
We can't go this way.
Yeah, so instead of just hitting them in the weak point in this game, as opposed to the other games, you have to keep hitting them in the weak point to stun them? I don't know. I don't really like this as much as I do just hitting them in the weak point. You get health bonuses for A rank and higher.
You alright, Lisa?
Yeah, just a little shaken up.
Cool thing about this game is that you get to choose where you go for your route picking. So unlike the other games,
Always involved in missions like this?
in other games where you kind of have to get railroaded down a specific map, you get to just kind of pick and choose which map you go through. And sometimes it chooses whether you go backwards or forwards through it. So it's a little bit more replayability.
This will remove the barrier between life and death. You don't need to fear anything anymore, Daniel. Not even death.
Dude, you ended up making zombie mutants. I don't think you did a good job.
Getting along with Logan?
I don't know. My father always put work ahead of his family. I barely have any memories of him spending time with Mom and me.
Ouch. That's pretty harsh.
Well, what do you expect? He's always making us worry. I should slap him upside the head for Mom.
I like how G just kind of waves her off, like, yeah, okay. Have your family spat some other time. I'm not your dad.
Watch out for the tentacles!
Oh no, we're ripping off Plant 42 from Resident Evil 1.
Jungle in here.
Did you look up the Kira copy pasta for that? Ugh. The knives are like almost impossible to see this time around. I think they were giant bugs.
Finally, we're out. But what the hell is that thing?
Oh god, it is Plant 42.
Lisa, this way.
I'm not ready to be pushing up daisies just yet.
Oh my god, shut up. Oh yeah, so once again, the enemies here are named after the tarot cards. So for example, we have the Sun here. We had Death as the security guard. And let me just go ahead and get ahead. Let me just get ahead of it to save you the heartbreak that I had as a kid. The Magician is not in this game. I know, it breaks my heart too. Whew. I hate this boss. This is probably my least favorite of Three's menagerie. I hate aiming for small moving spots, like... There's such annoying fights in particular. Oh god, I hate this part too. Frickin' alien xenomorph looking ass.
I never was any good at gardening.
Doesn't look like a
Open if you shoot it.
smaller version of a sun in a desert. I see what you did there.
Lisa, back me up.
Just gotta light him up. Soon as you see him.
Got out in one piece.
Whew. Hey, S rank. Heck yeah.
Worried about Logan?
I know just what Dad would say if he was here. You've got to believe in yourself, Lisa.
What is he, Powerpuff the Rapper?
Says the same thing over and over.
You gotta do what? You gotta believe.
Daniel, have I stepped outside the bounds of human morality? Most of my resources have left me.
Maybe it's because they realized, oh my god, we're making weird-ass zombie-looking mutants and or weird-ass tarot-named wackos.
The 1998 Turning Mansion case happened, I suppose. The product was a threat to humanity itself. Your father and I put a stop to it.
Listen, as much as I love The Magician, once I saw that we were in fact making The Magician, I would probably be like, wait, are we still trying to cure death or are we trying to destroy the world here? More so once I realized, like, things like frickin' Chariot and, like, the world were existing. Ah! Really? Really? A freaking clothesline by Guile Zombie? Ugh, get out of my face.
Let's go down.
Just want to get through here.
Me at various stages of my life. I just want to get through here. Are you serious? That wasn't enough shots? Ugh. Get out of my face. I said get out of my face, okay? I know what I said. Also, hi Cole, welcome in. Good to see you. Ugh. Fuck out of here with your kitchen knife. Stupid. What the? Now we're ripping off the liquors from Resident Evil. Come on now. Just imagine having to shoot all this while racking an actual shotgun prop. It's not easy. Yeah, actually, female protagonists would start to be more common as of 3 and then 4. 4 would also have a player 1 female protagonist with a recurring character as player 2. The player 4... player 4. House of the Dead 4 player 2 character was actually James, the player 1 character from House of the Dead 2. Oh, great. Now I have rabies in addition to everything.
What's that smell? Oh man!
What is this place? Some sort of feeding ground?
And as a matter of fact, in House of the Dead 4 Special Edition, which was the home port, which added an bonus epilogue chapter, G comes back again as the player 2 character. Oh god, I forgot how much I hate this one. This is the Fool, and it is a giant sloth. Why? 'Cause fuck me, I guess. Oh god. The projectile phase of the fight, except it's freaking squishy corpses. Ugh. I don't know why this game is so viscerally disgusting. Oh crap. Which direction is it going? Oh shit!
Had enough yet?
Scientists gotta realize they're just fucking around at this point. Yeah, right? I made a giant sloth. Why?
So, you and my father stopped Kieran's plans, right?
Have a nice trip. See you next fall.
Maybe someone's trying to continue his legacy.
I found it, Daniel. These genes will change the future. The magician,
Magician mentioned.
the wheel of fate.
So, these genes will change the future. Somebody in the 90s when they made Jinkos. Bring back Jinkos, by the way.
Over there.
Not even Rogan was this persistent.
Oh, hey, look, it's the first area boss. It's Death. And he's a cop. You know what we do with those around here. In-game, in-game. Really? Shoulder charged by a freaking mob zombie? A freaking mook? Yeah, Jinkos. They're trendy again? My wish, it's come true! Do you really think holding a piece of freaking an I-beam is gonna save you? Oh no, a zombie. With a steel rod. Like, come on now. Come on, duck hunt practice. Don't fail me now.
Looks like we got away.
That makes me so happy that kids are wearing Jinkos again.
Lisa, back me up.
What the? Okay, who thought it was a good idea to make Zombie SEAL Team 6? What?
I'm never going back there again.
Why do they give the zombies lightning weapons? Who thought that was going to undo death in any capacity? I just want to talk. Ugh. Zombie Kata? Did he say touch me there? I know he said don't touch me there, but the don't doesn't like they didn't mix that in well, so it just says touch me there. And it's like, gee, can you be freaky on your own time? We're trying to save my dad here. Why did I just get tornado kicked by a zombie? Ooh, I twitched on that one. Whew. Whoa. What the fuck? There was literally nothing there when I looked earlier. What the fuck?
You just don't give up, do ya?
Whoa. Jeez. They're starting to just pop out anywhere now, huh?
Just back off already.
He's right behind me, isn't he? Huh.
When a lady says no, she means it.
Okay. I love how G just quietly backs her up. Hey, let's go.
That was close.
I'm sorry. I should have reacted faster back there.
You're being awfully honest, aren't you? Don't sweat.
I know. How come I'm so stubborn in front of my dad?
Pretty sure the original Japanese script might have had a bit more there that we just didn't get. I don't know what the heck that was about, but...
Things look a little different here.
I'm not gonna stop until I find my
I
dad.
did see that, and you know what? I'm really looking forward to getting in touch with one of my artist friends who drew Samus as a motorcycle riding lesbian. As well as drawing her in the style of like the Japanese superhero what do you call it, styling, the metal hero genre.
We need to find a way.
So I'm excited to see that because holy crap, we did it. And really, it's come full circle because, like, it's a real full circle moment because back when people thought that Samus was a man, there was, like, a brief little promotional thing or whatever with Samus in her armor being flanked by women going, "Go, Samus, you're our hero." And I think they were scantily clad too, as was the style at the time. So, you know, now we've got her running around being a motorcycle lesbian, and
It's a dead end.
the bike is named Viola? Oh my god, she is so dykey.
Dad! I knew you were alive.
Lisa, I figured G would bring you here. Wait, G!
Pleased to meet you, Mr. G. My name is Daniel Perry. Dr. Perry is
Oh shit, it's Daniel.
completely new and more.
It may be hard to believe, but he's the one who saved my life. He's the only one who can prevent disaster. I have to go.
Can't. You're hurt. I'll go. Gee, take care of Dad for me.
All right. I leave everything in your hands. Remember, Lisa, believe in yourself, no matter what happens.
Believe in yourself. Lisa, I think I finally understand what that really means now.
Do you? Because I don't.
The accursed wheel of fate.
Just wait.
The bike is AI. That makes sense because a lot of Samus's closest connections in life are like the AI computer that's modeled after. How did he survive all that? Whatever. Um, Modeled after her commanding officer, Adam. So this is just another person for her to have feelings about.
What is it that they're trying to protect?
Can't believe it's named Viola though. That is such a like futch for femme relationship right there. And yes, my headcanon is that Samus is futch, not like full on one or the other, but
What the?
This is the last thing my father left behind.
there's arguments for either.
15 years watching this ether grow. I know it's dangerous. I've always known that. But the wheel of fate must be broken.
But how?
I managed to hack the program. That should give us the opening we need.
Ah, yes, I hacked the program by touching the screen once.
I just wanted to ask, are you sure you want to fight your own father?
The future belongs to the people who are alive here and now. I'm prepared to live the rest of my life bearing the burden of my father's crime.
Okay. Just gotta believe in yourselves.
Oh, shut up. You are not the magician. Analysis impossible. I'm pretty sure it's shoot the giant Iron Man arc in his frickin' chest. And don't get hit by lightning. Okay, but low-key, this is kind of a baller design just because of the giant halo. Kind of funny that it's called the Wheel of Fate and not the Wheel of Fortune, which is the actual tarot card? What's up with that? But anyway. It's kind of a cool design. It's lacking a little pizzazz, though. It's just a plain white body with like a single blue point. I feel like it could have just a splash of some other color or accent. The Necron clan? What's that? Oh, shoot. He's shooting static at me. Warhammer stuff. You know, I keep being told that I would like Warhammer. And that's one of those things I wish I had time to try out. Whew. I hate that argument. I hate when people say it's overpopulated. Bullshit. We have the resources. We have the resources to sustain everyone.
We'll handle it ourselves. You've got bigger problems to worry about.
You're not my father!
We have what it takes. And honestly, that's the exact thing we should be doing about it.
I'm no longer bound by the past. I begin walking toward the future.
Hey, let's go! They're waiting for us.
Thanks. Taking care of Lisa. Actually, she did a good job taking care of herself. Rogan, do you think this will change anything? It's their future. Yeah, maybe nothing will change. Maybe everything will be different. We've done our part. The rest is up to them. To believe in themselves. To walk their own paths.
Rogan, you're 40. You're not 80.
Themselves.
You can still help out.
Lisa's starting to sound a lot like you. Oh, wait a minute. Is that your idea of a joke? I guess things are already starting to change.
What's wrong?
Lisa, could you wait for a second? This place was my home life. Goodbye, Father. I know that benefits go to waste. Humans go down the wrong path again. I'll come back. Lisa, please. Sorry. Let's go.
Kind of. God damn it. Hey, expert agent. Let's go. That's the thing, you don't need to play the tabletop to enjoy it. All the lore and the narrative are in books. Video essays or explainers do a lot. I see. Now, I think Ray would love Tyrannids or any type of Xenos. Alright, well, I will trust you guys to lead me down that path when we get there. I feel like that's a path that once I start is going to be an arc in of itself. Sent you an image of Satan? 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 No, I'm just kidding. Robot space mummies. Oh, that's freaky. Insane nun women. That's an easy crit, and that's not fair. The Sisters of Battle. I have heard of this. Oh boy. But they serve the Emperor. Okay, so in the interest of not wanting to end stream early, because I personally feel like that was way too short, but it was fun to play through the game once again, And I'll be honest, I do not feel like going through the game again just to get the alternate endings. I think I will. You know what? I was weighing whether or not I would do this. But I'm gonna go ahead and make a tier maker based on the House of the Dead. And I found one online actually, so that's cool. Let me just switch this over. One sec. Okay. So, let's do this. Their leader has subtext Yuri with a witch hunter. Oh. Okay. So, let's do this. This is a quick tier maker that I found while looking for a House of the Dead tiers lists that I could make. So, first things first. Let's get this going. Can y'all hear that? Okay. So, of course, we are going to be ranking the House of the Dead 1 through 4 bosses. Now, unfortunately, I have no way to emulate 1, or otherwise play it legit. And similarly for 4, I do not have any way to do so, so I will be unable to show you the gameplay for those for now. Because, for example, while the remakes exist and what do you call it? I was currently playing House of the Dead 2 and 3 Return, which is the Wii port of House of the Dead 2 and 3. I don't have any way of hooking up anything to play 1 or 4, nor were those ever made available on any virtual storefront in like any recent history. They've all been either delisted or whatever, so I have no way of playing those for you anymore. It was already a hassle and a half to get this one going, but it was worth it to play for you guys. So I'm just gonna show you based on what I can observe here. So the first one right here is the Chariot from House of the Dead 1. And let me go ahead and pull up a better image of him. Real quick. We are going to be basing it purely on vibes, aesthetics, and general how much do I how much do I FW this guy, so to speak? How much do I fuck with him? So for example, this is a screenshot of the Chariot from House of the Dead 1. He has a second form after you get about 2/3 down his life bar, where he will break the armor off and be a fleshy mass underneath, a lot less attractive. But bonus points for being literally Silver Chariot, in a sense. So, based on general vibes, based on being the first boss of the House of the Dead, I'm gonna go ahead and place him right now as a solid B. This is subject to change. I will change the tier listings themselves later. Right now we're just gonna do the basics, and then I'll name the tiers more properly. All right. Next tier we have. Do I have another? Can I make another tier? Add row below. Oh, is that not working that way? Okay, one sec. Okay. This one gets this one. Not because purple is a bad color by any means, however. Okay, well, it won't let me rename it proper? Hello? There we go. Death. Ugh. Get him out of my sight. I want nothing to do with him. Chariot is not a French knight, no. Emperor from final boss of House of the Dead 2. Kind of boring. So we'll put him as a C. He doesn't have much going for him design-wise. He's translucent. He's got a red core. He's got horns, but those are never really expanded upon. He's got bubbles, and he can make quick imitations of previous bosses in the game. Altogether, not bad, but also leaves much to be desired, I would say. Especially as a final boss, especially as the follow-up final boss of my man, the Magician. And especially after facing the Magician again, following up with this, disappointing. He just has too much working against him. He literally is the follow-up final boss to the Magician, both in his own game and in sequential order. So, sorry, Emperor, you're not that great. Next up, we have well, it's bad when I can't even tell who you are at a glance. So into D tier you go, because that's my literally who tier. Oh yes, if they have their own OSTs, that may count. Yeah, Emperor's theme, not much to speak of. The Fool. It's a giant sloth. What the hell else am I supposed to say about it? It's such an uninspired... Okay, it's not uninspired. But it's such a nothing burger of a design. It is a giant sloth. A giant mutant zombie sloth. There is nothing else about it. It is giant. It is a sloth. It has claws like a sloth. And that's about it. Would I want to fight it? No. Am I impressed by it? No. The second ever boss of House of the Dead, the Hanged Man. As a follow-up to Chariot, I would say it's better than Chariot, but doesn't exceed him tier-wise. It's a solid B. It is a giant Batman. Add to the fact that I can't even find a better picture of him. The best I can do is blow up the existing one, which I will proceed to do now. Hanged Man, giant Batman. Not much to say there. Next up, the Hierophant. Honestly, A-tier design. You saw what Hierophant looked like last stream, or last week. He's really cool. He's got a big open beating heart. He's got cool fish humanoid features. He's got a sick trident. He summons attacking piranhas. Okay, maybe that's not necessarily a point in his favor, because that's kind of a dick move, but he's got a lot of cool elements to his design. I really like him. Okay, so I'm looking it up, and the one that I said literally who to was the Empress in House of the Dead 4. And to tell you how like unimaginative a design it is compared to everything else that came before it, for being the 4th game in the series, look at this, okay? This is the Empress in House of the Dead 4. It is just a giant humanoid with 2 large chainsaws. We already fought one of those with 1 giant chainsaw 2 games ago. This is why you are literally who? You're not ugh? You don't disgust me? You are so boring, I will forget about you the moment I stop looking at your face. I have already forgotten what you look like once I get rid of you. Next up, the Hermit from House of the Dead 1. Hermit from House of the Dead 1 is a cool design for the first game. Not much to say about him. It's basically a giant crab. It's a giant enemy crab. There's a disgusting phase to his fight where he upends himself and starts shooting eggs at you. I do not care for that phase. But I will say, the design is not too bad. Giant enemy crab. What more do you want? Here, so you can see the details a little better. Giant enemy crab. Only weakness is the face right there. But even for the first game, it's really not much to look at. It's not much about it other than the creep factor and the ick factor of now he's shooting eggs at me. C tier. C tier for not bad, but you're kind of boring. And to be fair, it was the third boss of the first game. The first game is full of relative nothing burgers. Trust me, I thought it was a spider growing up too. It's okay. It happens to all of us. It helps if you go, oh, hermit crab. Next up is Judgment from House of the Dead 2. Easily beats his predecessor as the first boss of his respective game, Chariot. It's a giant suit of armor with a talking imp that is his real weak point. The big lumbering armor can hit both players at once, just like Chariot did. But there's just something to it, to having, you know, another little guy. It kind of combines Chariot and Hanged Man into one boss, if you really think about it. Actually, yeah, on further reflection, solid B tier. So, yeah. Judgment, B tier. Very solid, but not extraordinary. I think the next one here is... Oh yeah, that's Justice from 4. I'm gonna put that one as an ugh, just because personally, I didn't like it. Let me show you what he looks like real quick. Let me just go ahead and put him here on the Jumbotron. And Justice. Jump scare. Oh, did we really run out of the Magician theme song? No. Play it again. Yeah, this is an ugh tier. And to make it worse, the weak point was the tongue. So, I did not care for this one. 4 arms, cool. Big waggly tongue, not cool. He looks like a creepypasta. The next one is another giant enemy crab. It is the Lovers, the second boss of House of the Dead 2. And let me go ahead and show you what that one looks like. And there you go. Lovers. Now the thing is, it's actually 2 spiders locked onto each other. The weak point is the top spider, the smaller head. You know, and it just crawls around and hits you with its thorny legs. Not much to say about that one. Really unremarkable. And I don't even really remember fighting this one in the arcade, so I'm gonna put that one firmly as... Literally who? House of the Dead 4 is full of misses so far. You already know. You already know. The undisputed... Oh no, wrong accidental misclick. There we go. There we go. The undisputed crown king of House of the Dead bosses. The magician. His own tier. Untouched by any who would dare call themselves competitors on his stage. He is simply the best. He is the moment. He is the franchise. The franchise does not exist without him. So much so that he is the most recurring final or penultimate boss in the series history. He even shows up in spin-off games. When you think of House of the Dead, you think the Magician. And if you don't because you've never really heard of this game before me, you will now. He flies around doing Shadow Deal poses, launching meteors at you, moving faster than the camera can track just to smack you in the face. I am literally playing his theme song on a loop to do this tier list. What more do I need to say? The Magician. Before this turns into another Magician Yap Fest, let us move on. House of the Dead 4, penultimate boss. I believe this is the star. Double checking my sources. Yes, it is the star. This is not quite a good shot of him on the tier list, so I will try to find a better... There we go. The star. Honestly, a guy in a robe and a mask. He moves really fast, and he throws knives at you. For a penultimate boss, not much to speak of. Kind of a solid design, but I would say the worst of the B tiers. Strength from House of the Dead 2. Big guy with a chainsaw. Don't really know what else to say except you're there. Honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that it is the first in the series to be a big guy with a chainsaw, it would be in D tier. The only reason it is not is because it has a semblance of a design that goes beyond big guy with a chainsaw. Unlike the Empress, who is big amorphous blob with 2 chainsaws. Looks like the RE4 guy, but red. Next up, the Sun from the House of the Dead 3. It is Plant 42 from Resident Evil, with more faces and a xenomorph head somewhere tucked inside. B tier. Pretty solid B tier. No, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it's an A tier. You know why? Godzilla is saving you here, son. Because you remind me somewhat a little bit of Biolante. Thank Godzilla that I did not rate you any lower, because you would be a solid B tier and nothing more. However, you are an A tier. Violante mentioned. House of the Dead 4 with yet another miss with Temperance. That is not a great shot. I doubt I will find better. However, I must try. For you. Temperance. You know what he does? He gets into a ball. He rolls at you. And you have to shoot him in the head in order to win. Very uninspired design. It's just a big burly dude. Easy ugh tier. Because there is nothing about that design except for the very slight, mildest hint of a JoJo reference because of the color, and thus it is yellow Temperance. But that is not enough to save it from ugh tier. I'm sorry, Temperance. I can't stand you. Next up, from House of the Dead 4, the final boss, which has 2 phases, by the way, and so 2 different looks, which I will pull up for you real quick. Bit of a reach. Listen, I had to try to give it a chance. I had to try to give it something in the way of a redeeming factor. So, this is the first form of the final boss of House of the Dead 4. It is a giant dragonfly ice creature. Honestly, incredibly sick. And yes, the giant red glowing part is the weak spot. Shoot that enough times, and it will get into form 2. Where the dragonfly wings become extra appendages. And he starts shooting back. Pretty cool design. And then shoot that enough, and he becomes a giant gold humanoid. Bit disappointing after the first 2. But this boss is called the World. And honestly, as frustrating of a fight as it was, with not 1 but 2 form changes, and an overall cool design, because I can only rate it on a single entry as opposed to by each form, it is a high A tier. I would have given it S if it ended at Form 2. Form 3 drags the whole thing down just enough to make it an A+, but not an S. And unfortunately, he cannot stop time. If he could, That might have bumped it up right back up to an S. Two more bosses to rate. I wish I could also rate the minion designs, the different types of mob zombies that you face throughout the series, because they do have unique enough designs that I'm willing to rate those if anybody has those up for a tier maker. But I will say that House of the Dead 3 and 4's boss minion designs would probably rate the lowest, with half of 2 and half of 1 rating the highest, and the other half rating like medium. Anyway, second to last boss to rate, the Tower. It's 5 serpentine dragon heads. What more do you want from me? I'm not made of stone. It's an S tier. Of course it's an S tier. It's 5 dragon heads. It's also one of the only bosses you could basically speedrun just by shooting every open mouth you see and making them all die quickly. So 5 heads. Yeah, with the tower, sometimes as part of its idle animation, it'll just open its mouth, and the weak point is the inside of the mouth. So if you time it right, you can just, just blast off into the open mouth, and you'll weaken it right away. And once you deplete the rest of the heads, the blue one will slither off like you saw last week. King Ghidorah fan bias. You shut up. Okay, I was trying not to make it a King Ghidorah bias. And lastly, the Wheel of Fate. I mean, was there ever any doubt? It's tied with Emperor for just a silver or white or clear guy. If he had anything, black, red, gold, blue, other than the arc reactor on his chest, green, something to give him anything resembling like a pop, anything that helps him stand out from the freaking background. As a matter of fact, he is worse than the Emperor, because the Emperor has a giant glowing red core that distinguishes him from just blending into the polygons in the background. The Wheel of Fate was made later, and still is just the Silver Surfer with added, like, pieces, and yet not a single one of them gives him an ounce of character or weight. And even worse, you fight him in a lightning-riddled computery background. He blends in even further to that. The giant halo doesn't save him. Exactly, he and the Emperor both, except again, the Emperor has something. He has something, not just the horns, because that wouldn't be enough to save him. He has the moving red core that, like, helps give him a semblance of character weight, of existing in the space and not just being a protrusion in it. The Wheel of Fate is one of the most disappointing and unimpressive final bosses that the game has ever seen. Bro thinks he's Halo 2 Anniversary? So there you have it. That is my rating of the House of the Dead bosses from 1 through 4. Not counting Scarlet Dawn because the tier did not have those, but Scarlet Dawn actually has remade designs of Chariot and Hanged Man. No, it does not bump them up any. It just looks like HD upscales with slight tweaks. Nothing to give them much of a visual identity outside of what was already there. So, going from bottom to the top, let's work our way through the Tarot of Nightmares. Temperance, Death, Justice, you all suck. You are disgusting. I do not want you here. You're ugly, you're disgusting, I'm going to kill you, give me $200. In Whomst tier, we have Empress, who I only remember because I have some short-term memory. It will be gone the moment I end this stream. The Fool, which is again just a giant sloth. The Lovers, which is just a giant spider. In Boring tier, we have Strength, Guy with a Chainsaw. The Wheel of Fate. I have already lost him in the pile of the other toys. The Emperor. I'm sorry, dude. You just tried to follow up the Magician. That didn't work. The Hermit. It's just a crab. In Baller tier, we have the Star. Barely there, by the way. The Chariot. Judgment. And the Hanged Man. Why is Judgment... Well, actually, why is Judgment there? Judgment should be the top of the list. The Hanged Man and Judgment. In Awesome tier, we have the Sun, the Hierophant, and Zawarudo. In Smokin' tier, we have the Tower. Because again, it is 5 dragon heads. Somebody stop him. He's smoking the track. And of course, the closest thing I could ever call my beloved in this series, the undisputed, the champion before we even started this tier list, the Magician himself. He just appeared one day, and my heart was forever won by him. No other boss was ever gonna compare, and they never did. House of the Dead does have pretty cool designs though, I'm not gonna lie. Like, overall, the designs are fairly cool. It's just that in the scope of their own universe, and compared with their own counterparts and, like, their own, like, peers, some of them start to fall apart very quickly and not hold up. Like, on the one hand, you have whoever, like, on the character design team who went, you know what? I saw Godzilla vs. Biollante recently. I'm gonna make a boss off of that. And another that went, you know, Leatherface. Like that was supposed to be in the same bracket? I know they're one game apart, but like, it's just jarring to be like, oh, what's your design inspiration for this? You know, this like basically something that looks akin to the devil, you know, mankind's ultimate folly or something like that, or 5 dragon heads, or it'd be really fucked up if some guy just rolled at you. Like, these are from the same series? And again, the thing that's really disappointing, and part of the reason why I think we're never gonna get House of the Dead 5, is that House of the Dead 4 is full of all the most boring and, like, disappointing of the designs. Look at how many of them ended up in Whomst or Ugh. Only one of them made it out of... no, 2 of them made it out of that. And only one of those, like, made it anywhere near the top. The star only barely deserves to be there. I'm almost considering putting him in boring because he's just a guy in a robe and a mask. I don't know what does it for me. It's kind of a Devil May Cry-ish design, I guess? I don't know, he just... It's like the difference between scoring a, like... The difference between scoring a C- or a D+ is what I would say, and he barely deserves to be there. It's the mask, isn't it? I mean, the mystery certainly helps. He could have just been some normal looking guy or some fucked up thing, but the fact that I don't know is kind of cool. Maybe I'm also just a sucker for red, I don't know. Kind of also the reason why the Emperor rates higher than the Wheel of Fate. I really wish that there was more bosses in the series. And there is, but they weren't put into this tier list. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick... Oh, you know what? Real quick. I am currently playing the theme of my man, as he shows, in House of the Dead 4. So this is how the Magician looks in House of the Dead 4 Special Edition, which was, again, the home release of House of the Dead 4, which had a special epilogue. And in that special epilogue, the Player 1 character teams up with G. I forget her name, I think it's Kate. And together they go fight through the city and end up fighting the Magician one more time. And he appropriately gets a new upgrade to his theme song to fit the more EDM style of the time. Okay, so House of the Dead Scarlet Dawn takes place after House of the Dead 4. I believe even Kate makes a reappearance in that game, alongside the brother of James, the protagonist character, Player 1 character from House of the Dead 2, and the Player 2 character of House of the Dead 4. I believe that one takes place at some sort of, like, ball or otherwise like event, and they face some familiar faces, like the updated version of the chariot, which I'm not gonna lie, looks cool, but it's still just the chariot, so there's only so much I can give him credit for. So if I were to put this version of the chariot on a list, on the tier list, it would still be a solid B, because as cool as it is, it's still just a giant suit of armor. Then the next boss in Scarlet Dawn is Bionicle looking ass. Ah yes, Bionicles, the hero of our time. The next boss that they face is the High Priestess. And the less said about that one, the better. I'm pretty sure this goes in the ugh tier. But as a design, it's not bad. It's a freaky, fleshy... No, it's bad. It just looks like a Dalek outside of the chassis. It's just a Dalek. And then the next one that the next boss in Scarlet Dawn is the return of the Hanged Man, which again, just a giant bat, man. Not much to say about it. And this is the best picture I could find of the final boss of House of the Dead: Scarlet Dawn, which is one of those games that, by the way, is one of those like kind of Raw Thrills booth style games where you sit at a turret and just hold down the trigger. The last boss of House of the Dead: Scarlet Dawn is the Moon. And holy shit, did they save their effort for this one. I mean, Jesus. That's an S tier for sure. That goes right next to Tower for holy fuck, I love this design. Yeah. They're like, okay, we're gonna upscale the chariot, the hanged man, we're gonna give you guys a Dalek to fight. Oh, and we're gonna make one of the most raw, demonic looking creatures ever. Having played Scarlet Dawn a little bit in the arcades too, and getting up to where the moon is, it's a pretty sick fight. So if we're combining all the vibes and stuff, it is easily an S tier. And I'm not gonna lie, don't tell him I said this. If I didn't have decades of history with him, it kinda has a chance. But just kinda, okay? No, it's not, I promise. I said only kind of a chance, okay? Only kind of. But he's only S tier. He still can't touch the magician. Then there's bosses from the House of the Dead Overkill, which was also on the Wii, and it was not made by Sega properly. Well, it's complicated. It's basically an official House of the Dead game, but the continuity is weird. It's pre House of the Dead 1. That's the only thing that's for certain, because G is a playable character there, and he's much younger than he is in 1. Where would we even find a chair that floats? Across all the vast amounts of sci-fi, one of us has to have an easily identifiable floating chair. Doctor Doom's chair. Doctor Doom's throne. It floats. It levitates. What happened? I left for a sec. I was just saying that the moon... Look, all I said, in exact words, is that if I didn't have decades of history with the magician, there is a slight chance, but that the moon still cannot eclipse my man, the magician. Those were pretty much my exact words. Cole over here is accusing me of being unfaithful when I said the exact opposite of that. No, I am not saying that. You guys are saying that. I will not accept these slanderous lies against my character. Cole, you're killing me. Hold on. Hey, me and my final boss saw you across the arcade, and we found your design to be, well, smokin'. You're welcome. Yes, the magician was literally the first game's final boss. Oh my god. And he's the final boss of 4, technically, if you factor in the home release. where he's added on as an epilogue. He's a final boss twice, once for certain, and twice as a technicality. No, I know, I know. I'm not blaming you or anything. I'm just saying he definitely was a final boss. Um, the House of the Dead Overkill bosses aren't really remarkable at all. The game itself is fun, but mostly because of the writing, because they approached it from one of those like grindhouse studios type of thing, you know, those like really schlocky 70s action horror flicks. So the designs of the final bosses of Overkill weren't really that good. The game mostly hinged itself on its writing. And I'll show you just a couple of examples just to like just so you know what I mean. Pretty much all of Overkill's bosses qualify for Ugh tier. Like this thing. This is ugh. I'm actually gonna get off screen. Yeah, it was entirely different. It wasn't even like the Kyrian wasn't involved. It was some other guy in like New Orleans or something. It was eh. They're they're all disgusting like that, so I don't really want to like spend too much time. Just know that the Overkill bosses count as ugh tier, and that's it. If you want to look them up, you can. There's a spin-off game that I never saw and never played called Zombie Revenge, but I've seen the designs for it, and the bosses are kind of okay, but not much to write home about. So honestly, these are all either low C tier, like low boring tier, or at worst, Whomst tier, except for the final boss of that game. And I'll go ahead and pull them up real quick. Let me see. Oh, this is a better picture. Okay. The final boss of Zombies Revenge, which again is a spin-off game, not sure where it places in the canon. Not sure if it's even canon. The designs there are boring, except for the final boss. No relation, but it is called the Black Magician. It uses a lot of the same attacks and aesthetic, but it's not supposed to be related to the magician, I believe. But I'm gonna say, even with even with invoking the magician, it just doesn't work as well here. I would put him in the... probably in the awesome or the baller tier. Low A, high B, somewhere in there. It just doesn't come close, and it just rings like a hollow sort of reference. Temu Magician. Magician ordered from Wish. So there. If we include the spin-off and other bosses, the moon is the only one of real note over here in Smokin' Tier. Everything else is probably down here. And the Black Magician is here-ish. So even with adding in, like... even with adding in those characters, not much changes. Nobody approaches the throne of the throne of heaven. That is the magician. The moon barely scrapes by into like Smokin' Tier. No, it doesn't barely scrape by. It's pretty high up here, but it's the only one in like anything after 4 that resembles a design that made me go, wow. So yeah, that's the more complete hypothetical tier list of House of the Dead bosses. 1 through 4 plus spin-offs. Because I try to be as complete as possible, even if I can't find the tier myself. And I'll be honest, making the tier list was sort of a last-minute thought, because I didn't think I got through the game a lot faster than I thought I would, so I didn't think I'd even have time to do it. But here I am, spending more time on the tier than I am on the game that I was playing. I wish I could chat even more about House of the Dead. It's crazy. Because there's so much to say. But at the same time, I'm not sure there is. It took more time than the last games. You're too gamer? Let's see. What else is there to say? Oh man, I ran through a half-hour loop of the Magician's theme? After 2 15-minute ones? My god, I really did spend a lot longer on this than the game. Actually, real quick, we've never gone through all the major arcana, did we? Let me see. We have the Chariot, the Hanged Man, the Hermit, the Magician, Judgment, the Hierophant, the Tower, Strength, the Emperor, Death, the Fool, the Sun, the Wheel of Fortune, renamed to Wheel of Fate here, Justice, the Lovers, Emperors, Temperance, the Star, and the World. The High Priestess, the Moon. I feel like we're missing one. No, yeah, the sun was the big plant. Is there any card that hasn't been used? Let me see. The devil! The devil's never been used. That's the only one missing. Oh. That's crazy. Oh, please let them make a House of the Dead 5 mainline game with the devil as the final boss. That's crazy. After that, we would have the entire major arcana used. Would fit in the Resident Evil style naming. Yes, it would. Oh, I need that. I need House of the Dead 5 with the devil in it, please. Please, Sega, if you are listening, put House of the Dead 5 out there. Make it a traditional light gun game. Don't make it one of those turret booth ones. You can make it a booth one with a light gun, like you did in the old days for House of the Dead 2. Just please put it out there. Put the devil as the final boss. Complete the story. The deck's not finished yet. Sega, if you are listening, I will play the hell out of that game. Put it in round 1. Put it in Dave and Buster's. I don't care. Put it somewhere. I will travel and track it down and play it. What if VR? Oh. If it's VR, that would be so cool. I'm not even gonna like. That would be awesome. Man. Ah. House of the Dead is such a good game, man. It's such a good series. I really enjoyed playing House of the Dead 2 and 3 for you guys. If possible, I would love to track down more arcade light gun shooters and play those for you as well. I know Sega made a few others, and my dream goal would be to play Time Crisis for you guys, but I am a long way away from playing that one on stream. I have a lot of setup to go in order to get that. Um, but I would really I would really enjoy playing Time Crisis. I think 1 and 2 the most for you guys, with 4 being another one that I would like afterwards. But we'll see. We'll see because I know there's a lot of other like spooky spooky arcade games or spooky other games that aren't light gun shooters, and I'm gonna try to track those down and find those for you guys for the coming weeks because we are only what 2 weeks into spooky season, and I have a lot more I want to show you guys. And it's not even just arcade games. There's other like spooky games, home games, ports, and other stuff that I want to play. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. By the way, did you guys hear? The Nintendo Direct today announced that Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly, the remaster slash remake that originally featured on the Wii U, is coming to the Switch too. So that one is escaping Wii U hell and getting a second chance. And if you're unfamiliar with the Fatal Frame series, it is legitimately one of my favorite horror game series of all time that rivals and some days even surpasses Resident Evil. It's so cool. It's way more supernatural, way more like folklore horror. Deals with ghosts and spirit photography, and it's really good. Fatal Frame 2 being the best of them all, and the fact that it got a remake that never saw a wide audience, despite all the extra work to upscale the graphics and add new cutscenes, new ending scenes, and all that, just because it was on the Wii U, which was a total failure. It always broke my heart. So knowing that it's now out on a console that so many more people are buying into, makes me happy because I want more people to experience that story. So I'm really excited, and I'm not saying anything, but if I'm able to figure out a way, maybe I'll dabble into playing a little Fatal Frame for you guys. Don't hold me to that yet because I still have to figure out a lot of things about how to make that work, but if I can, I would love to. The Wii U is genuinely just purgatory. It is. It is. It kills me. But yeah, I would love to play some Fatal Frame for you guys at some point after this, or just other creepy titles. I'm running through a long list and seeing what I want to do for you guys. You guys seem to like House of the Dead, so if I don't find another arcade style shooter, I may find. Oh, you know what? You know what? An idea just came into my mind. I think this will satisfy two of my ideas in one go. Oh, I'm very excited to do it. Um, I'm not gonna say anything just yet. I want to keep it a surprise. I don't want to give away too much, of course. But I think next week I'm gonna try to figure it out. Try to make it work. Uh, but tentatively, I think next week we'll go through a different chronicle. Other than the House of the Dead series, it'll still be a zombie-related chronicle, of course. Um, somewhere dark, even on the side, even. Like I said, I don't want to give anything away just yet. Cole, you're trying to suss it out, and I'm not gonna tell you if you're right or wrong, but but I'm pretty sure I've left enough hints at this point. Any more, and I'd have to start leaving ostentatious ones in the shapes of some sort of. No, that'll also. In any case. Ah, yes, out of context, that does seem. I don't think context helps, actually. That's right, Cole. You got it. Next week, we're playing Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. This is a joke. I am not touching that game ever. No, you don't understand, Candace. Operation Raccoon City was. Uh. Oh, yes, it was. Oof. It was rough. We were in the freaking trenches before, like, we got a good mainline game again. All the spin offs and all the, like. Mm. It's the Mortal Kombat Special Forces of Resident Evil. And if you know anything about that game, you know what I'm saying. The problem that is RE5. RE5 was. I can't definitively say it was good because I haven't played that in over. Oh, God. The. Okay, it. Yeah, well, you. There are things that can be said. I am not the right person to say them. More Sheva would have fixed it. I can't disagree with that. Sheva being the player one character would have fixed it, I believe. It is weird how many Resident Evil characters are just one-offs that show up in a game and never again. Like, where did Sheva go after all that? Ada keeps showing back up. Jill keeps showing back up. Even Barry came back at some point. Where the hell are Sheva and Rebecca? Sherry Birkin came back in Resident Evil 6 as a playable. But then you factor in the RE Revelations side of things, which I never played too much of, but there's a whole bunch of characters there that just never really show up again. I would love to see Rebecca come back. I know that we've already got our established main character for Resident Evil Reninquium. But I would love to see, yeah, I'd love to see something else. I'd love to see Rebecca show up. I just think that, like, Chris, Jill, and Leon have had enough games in their appearance log that they could do away with them one by one in various ways. They don't have to die. But, like, the series is progressing and skipping forward years. Chris, Jill, Leon, people who were there at Arclay during the Mansion incident or Raccoon City are getting up to their 50s at this point. So, like, I just think that, like, for a story with less narrative and less, like, less dense plot, House of the Dead handled their veteran characters a lot better than Resident Evil did. It's kind of weird. And again, I know there's less of a plot going on, so there's less moving pieces, but the fact remains, in two series that have to do with blasting zombie-like creatures, the returning characters in House of the Dead are usually treated with a certain, I don't know if respect is the right word, but they're also treated as, like, not the hero the second time when they come back, or third time, or whatever. And I think that more series could stand to do that, because by holding on to, like, Chris and Jill and Leon until they're, like, 70 and starting to gray because they're genetic freaks and they're not normal, it kind of robs the series of room to grow and room to nurture new characters before we reach the point of, like, oh crap, we have to get rid of these guys. There's a rumor that Ada and Leon had a son, and my first thought was Leon got. This is canon in the alternate universe where the tramp stamp mod is canon. I feel like that's a very popular thing to do to Leon S. Kennedy. You know, I'm not quite into Leon types, but I think I get it. The thing is, I have absolutely. I make no. I make no pretenses. My taste in men is not to be trusted. Because of the Resident Evil men, it was never Chris, or Leon, or Billy, or Steve from Code Veronica. It was Albert Wesker. So, whatever else anyone else writes about these men, I will never ever say a negative word about it because, well, I'm a Wesker fangirl. You're valid. Listen, Wesker is my Resident Evil's version of the magician, okay? I'm just saying, by the end fight of 5, mm, you know, there's not nothing there when he has the Ouroboros saw, you know? Wesker is worse Virgil? Okay, listen, Wesker just never had an opportunity to do a judgment cut on screen. Okay, I know he can do it. I swear he can do it. But let's be real, he would be an even worse father than Virgil. If he was alive, I think Jake Wesker would have been vivisected. He did it with his whole body, kinda in MVC3. Yeah, it's kind of that and a combination of like Maximum Spider. Listen, okay, Wesker is just one of those I had years of history with as well, like, and then seeing him pull off those Agent Smith ass moves in RE5, I don't know. What am I supposed to say? Anyway, this is a discussion for another time. This is a House of the Dead stream. Let me not say all this in front of the magician, okay? I'll talk about it when the magician's not listening. If he was a lesbian, I would forgive him. I have a suggestion. My husband's in the other room ass line. My husband's in the same room and he moves faster than the camera can track. Let's not say anything too crazy around him, okay? I don't want to have to shoot him on stream for the second week in a row. Amazing. I played House of the Dead 3 for almost an hour, made a tier list for another hour, and I've just been chatting for like 20 minutes now. Oh my god. My boy Hunk would never. Well, you know what? I think between Wesker, Hunk, all those others, I think we all are wrong because the objective right choice of Resident Evil Husbando is neither of those, and it's somebody you would never expect. Not the fourth survivor, not this or that, not the mystery man or the mad scientist or anything. It's Tofu. Shout out if you know, shout out if you recognize that. Did they even put that in the remake? Because if they didn't put Tofu in the remake, it failed. They're. Oh no. Oh no. They did? They put Tofu in the remake? Excellent. You guys can keep your Nemesis, your Mr. X, your Verdugo. I'll take my boy Tofu. Oh, good lord. What was happening in the 90s when they first implemented that? Your Krausers. I'm not gonna lie, Krauser is not that high on my list. What was his fucking deal? Some men just be like that. Some guys just be like that. That's all I can sum up Krauser with. I think Jack Krauser is like probably the dictionary picture in the Resident Evil dictionary for literally anything but therapy. Resident Evil 4 is Leon dealing with his situationships while teasing a new one and then immediately killing it off. Speaking of Resident Evil 4, I would love it if Ashley came back as like in some capacity. Doesn't have to be like the main protagonist of another game, but just to see her come back would be nice. May you suggest? Who are you suggesting, Cole? Oh, I see. Sherry and Ashley. Now that is that's some peak brain right there. I'm not gonna lie. Sherry and Ashley is a good one. They're about the same age too, I think. Sherry and Ashley, I mean. Dozed off for a bit. I'm sorry. No, it's okay. It's okay. I've just been chatting and just kind of stream of consciousness, rambling about Resident Evil stuff. Which I should save, honestly. I should save some conversation topics for another time because, like I said, we've got a lot more spooky season to get through and a lot more games to play. And there'll be a lot to talk about in the coming weeks. So, Ashley gets into smithing and forging just so she can make a new better knight armor for herself because that was my favorite one of all the RE4 costume mods or like alternate costumes. I oh, I don't want to go. But my friends, I think it's time I start winding down for the night. But don't worry, because I'm not going to be gone for long. I'm not going to be gone for long at all. Because do you remember what tomorrow is? Tomorrow is my karaoke stream where I will be celebrating reaching the 50 subscriber milestone. So I'm very much looking forward to singing for you guys and having a bunch of yaps in between songs. I am just gonna go ahead and say I do not have a set list for tomorrow. It is going to be based on vibes, and it is going to be entirely. It's gonna be bonkers, but I think in the best possible way. So, I'm very much looking forward to um, playing with you all tomorrow as we do karaoke stuff. Maybe I'll play some like karaoke trivia or something like that. Um, or just, sing and yap. But it's gonna be great. I'm thinking of perhaps, and let me know if this is a bad idea now before I commit to it. But seeing as it's the weekend and all, and I'll be starting in about 14 hours? Yeah, oh my god, I'll be starting in like 13 and a half hours. But I think, what if for the first time ever, I do a little bit of a drink on stream and sing some stuff? Would anyone like that idea? A little bit of drunk karaoke. Yep, and drink. Yes, please. Okay, then. All right. I am. I have to make a small trip to the store then in the morning and get some drinks to really liven things up. I think I'm gonna get some soju. Have some soju, have a nice little bit of a drink, and just chill with my lovely Rainiacs and Langsters that got me to this point. So, be sure to come back here at noon, 12 p.m. PST, and I'll be going until I no longer feel like it, basically. I think my hard limit will probably be at about 5 p.m. PST, so about 5 hours worth of singing. Um, so yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun, I think. And I'm very much looking forward um, to singing and hanging out with you guys tomorrow. So for now, I'm gonna go ahead and get some rest and get my 40 winks, as they say. So in the meantime, before I see you back here tomorrow, make sure to eat well and stay hydrated and get lots of good rest. Be kind to yourselves and be excellent to each other. And, of course, as always, make sure to unshrimp yourselves. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at my karaoke. Take care, everyone. Have a radiant rest of your night. Goodbye.